I love deck building games. I don't play many on PC. Like I guess like I play more like actual physical, but even then I don't know. I guess for me to just say I love deck building games, I don't really play many.
Okay.
But I do when I enjoy, when I do, I really enjoy them.
I would say it's actually a genre of games that Kath and I play probably the most.
Yeah.
And but yeah, all physical. Like I got really deep into Slay the Spire. I obviously play Hearthstone. So I am into card games, and with deck builders. Like the single player Hearthstone experiences are good, and then Slay the Spire's great, and then this seems like it would be something that I would very much enjoy, to the point where, especially because it's it's only on Steam, it's not on Switch, I might be tempted to crack out my old Steam Link and play it on the TV, just to mix it up, get off the desk. But yeah, it's beautiful. If you're into this kind of game, I think it's perfect for that kind of deck building experience that's a bit different. I know quite a few games out there right now that are like this, and I even saw some thread somewhere talking about like Slay the Spire knockoffs are coming out at a rate of
it's like you don't want
a day.
Like, I feel like mentioning deck build cards roguelike feels like you're kind of like, that's the new pixel platformer.
Yes,
isn't it?
It does.
Unfortunately, and not unfortunately. It's an interesting one, isn't it? Like when's the genre kind of saturated, and I don't know. But maybe it's more that like actually people who really like these genres will still keep buying those things.
Yes.
It's the kind of more mainstream audience who aren't really into those games will see it as like you said, like people saying, "Oh, there's Slay the Spire clones."
Easy for you
Whereas
to say.
people who are really into it are like, "Well, no, this is different because of this very niche little thing." You know, like, and yeah.
I mean, I think like, so one thing, I'm sure, Slay the Spire obviously done amazingly well, has tons and tons of fans. But one thing you could say about it is visually, it's not that exciting. There's not a lot going on there. So this obviously Griftlands takes that side of gaming, of the the beautiful visual approach and the lovely aesthetic, and says we can crank that up a little bit more and do some nicer things on the screen.
It also feels like you're playing an RPG.
Yes. Yeah. It is. It's an interesting blend between that. It's funny that now I don't know if it was in things like the short description or the press kit description and things like that I looked at before picking it up for streaming. But that wasn't like a very big genre push that I saw. Like it was that deck building, it was the roguelite. Less so on the RPG, so I'm kind of intrigued by that in terms, because we talk a lot about tags and stuff and how you categorize games.
Because I was going to get to the point of like saying, like, with making a home, like, is like this the roguelike is almost starting to get to the point where it's a bad thing. Like the kind of
a word that doesn't mean anything anymore.
Well, and then also that it immediately turns people off, or a subset of people.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like what we've done, and probably what a lot of games have done, is kind of take those mechanics, the reasons why roguelikes are popular and the interesting things about them, and done something with it. Whereas it's not like, because in some ways, like, is our game a rogue? Like, like we're kind of in that ballpark, aren't we?
Yeah.
But it's not really, and I wouldn't want to say it was, but it kind of is.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, but, I mean, if it's really just a game that loops before it finishes, like, is that like one of your core definitions for any roguelike or light games?
Yeah,
and a lot of games
do. Really into it would be like no, like absolutely not, and they'd get very angry at you for suggesting it. that it is, and that's why we wouldn't tag the game roguelike. But that idea of looping around is a really nice, like, that it makes sense for the game we're making in a bunch of ways, because it's a game about unlocking things, and like we want to give you different what I think roguelikes do, like I'm thinking out loud, sorry, but like, is that roguelikes kind of, they force you to change the way you play when you restart the game, or like when you do a new run, and then based on what you've got available. I'd be interested to see how this works. Like, I know that you get different characters and you have different decks. Like Slay the Spire, right? So that kind of style of doing it.
Well, and also, I mean, if I go back to the menu here, I can abandon this run. It is interesting. It feels like, I know I've only been playing for about an hour and a half. It does feel like, wow, abandoning this run? Like, why would I do that right now?
Yeah, it feels like, it doesn't feel like a roguelike at all. It feels like you're playing a story, and
I just wanted to see, like, so I can continue, that's fine, but if I go to play, I get, like, so these guys aren't unlocked. This game mode isn't unlocked, so we've got, like, start a new run. So it's these things that I wanted to just, outfits, okay, that might be just, purely cosmetic, but, prestige, card sets. There's obviously, like, quite a lot going on here, but the battle deck hasn't changed. Okay. Negotiation deck's still the same. So that side of things hasn't changed by starting a new run. But, like, when I've, continued these existing runs and completed it and unlocked some things, then, presumably these are what will change it quite drastically.
It's incredible to me. Like, this, I hopefully this doesn't come across the wrong way, but, like, the amount of stuff in this game, that there is an audience out there that will play this game this much.
Oh yeah, forget about it.
How much, like, a game like this can have as much content as, like, a AAA game.
Oh yeah, but
that's
yes, I think the thing is, like, for me it's twofold. One is that card games demand a degree of, like, once you've developed a system enough to have enough cards and be interesting, which, granted, a lot of these cards that we saw today kind of do very similar effects to a lot of different card games. Like, there wasn't anything here that I thought, wow, I've never seen that done in a card game. From the actual card effects. Once you have a pool big enough, then the replayability obviously, like, just grows and grows and grows and grows. But also, I suppose, that roguelite element that things like Slay the Spire and Griftlands gives you is, that illusion that every experience is going to be slightly different. It's going to be different enough to keep people coming back to it again and again and again and again. And some game genres are more naturally leaning towards that, and some game genres obviously lean completely the other way. Like, one game I thought about bringing tonight was Return to Obra Dinn, which I picked up in the Steam sale. But that's like, once you played it once, there's not much replayability, and I thought that would be maybe ruining it for quite a few people who are watching.
It's a bit like Outer Wilds.
Yeah.
Now Steam sale, I talked about that a bunch. Like, my favorite game of all time. Like, I like, not like.
Sure.
So good, so good. But you
don't want to stream it because it would.
No. Interestingly, that one I think is kind of okay. Like, there's so much. I mean, but you couldn't share the experience. Like, I can't, like, I mean, it's one of those things I cannot explain to you why that was such a profound thing to play that game, and how I still think about it. And if I hear the music, like, I've not watched a film, read a book, done anything that's affected me as much as that game. Like, I highly recommend everyone plays it. It is a start to finish not start to finish, but it's a non-lit like it's not, it is, and weirdly, it's a time looping game. It kind of is a roguelike. In a lot of ways. In a lot of ways, you loop around and you learn. But they do really interesting. It's really interesting. There's so many games like this time looping thing, this looping thing. Is such an interesting concept and like Cycle 28, we did it kind of, didn't we? Like that. I remember we thinking, well, what if like you trying to get this high score all the time isn't actually? What if the joke is it's not restarting? It's like this person's experiencing it this whole time. And also games like what's that game? The Kojima game there was a demo for it. It's like a horror game. You walk down a corridor.
Oh yes, I remember. I can't remember the name, but I know what you mean.
That one, so even those genres, which you wouldn't think necessarily lend themselves to it, like that kind of story thing, people are still finding ways of adding that time looping.
Yes.
And that's the thing I'd be really interested to see with Griftlands. What's the story like each time?
Yeah. How much does that change? Definitely. Well, maybe we'll bring it back to stream at some point. We'll see, and maybe I'll play it a bunch and see if it's worth bringing back as a kind of look at this is how different it is once you've unlocked this, that, and the other, and that's right.
Cool.
So this has been a Let's Play first look at Griftlands. Where can people find out about us, Sean?
They can head over to pillbog.zone, and we're working on a game called Making It Home, and you should totally wishlist it. It's coming out in August.
Coming out in August for early access, just like Griftlands. And you can see here they've got some good early access stuff going on here about updates and the roadmap and all that kind of stuff. So certainly good best practice to be thinking about from Griftlands in terms of early access for what we're doing. As Sean said, pillbug.zone for all your pillbug needs. And we will see everybody next week. Yeah, you like that, do you?
Yeah, we should get that.
Pillbug.net. Cool. Cheers, Sean.
Bye.
Bye.